Hey everyone, welcome to a little bit of woo-woo. We just wanted to do a little follow-up on the little video that we did on Friday about some outrageous things that we saw coming for July 15th. Mara was talking astrologically, and I kind of threw some psychic stuff. Unfortunately, some of what we had talked about has come to pass in an outrageous, shocking, just really, really sad scenario for all Americans to watch what happened. I'm not going to get into it. You already saw it. I mean, you saw the videos. Everybody saw the videos. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about kind of what's going to happen or what's going forward with it. And I think Mara and I have some intuitive insights. Mara has some astrological insights. Take it away, Mara. Kind of what are you seeing as what's the next things? Because July 15th hasn't even happened yet. We're recording this at 3 p.m. Pacific on July 14th.
Yeah.
Is there more to come?
Oh, obviously. Yeah. I don't know if it'll be as shocking or I'm going to use the word bizarre.
Yeah.
I found the whole experience bizarre. But like you said, extremely sad, sobering. It's very sobering. Everything got really serious. Like all this hyperbole and this aggressive talk suddenly became bloody, and in a way that for some reason affects people more than many of the other violent outbursts we've had, both domestically and internationally. It is really amazing to see how it's brought this convergence together. And I was thinking to myself, this is like when you have the San Andreas fault here in California, where this major fault line, and it's supposed to go off anytime now with some major earthquake. But we keep having all these little earthquakes that geologists hypothesize may be relieving the tension. So although this was a disastrous, drastic experience, did it relieve a building tension toward violence in our political process? Did it deliver a sobering awareness to us of just what's at stake?
It is really shocking too, because I think as Americans, it was not only we saw blood, and regardless of your political affiliation, this is the heart of what we as Americans value is our political process. And that every 4 years, like it or not, no matter how, even if you don't like the two candidates, we get to choose. Sometimes the choice is between a douche and a turd, but we get to choose every 4 years.
I mean, you say that.
It's an episode of South Park I'm referencing. In case, okay. Trust me, some 16-year-old kid watching this knows what I'm talking about. But
they're dying on the floor laughing.
They're dying on the floor laughing right now. But
yeah.
It's the heart of what we care about, and being able to have these open air events where people can go to and watch and celebrate their candidates should be part of the American experience. And that was something that was taken away yesterday. It was shocking.
The process itself has been eroded through various things that have been going on, voters' rights and strange, just real strange processes. I was listening to somebody's analysis about it this morning, how our understanding of the party system is drastically shifting in these past 8 years. So here's an example where maybe we get a reset.
I love that you brought that up. One thing I will say, and I want you to comment on this one, is intuitively I'm seeing a lot of the conspiracy theorists. You don't need a psychic to tell you everybody's going to have a little bit of fun with this. I do see a lot of blaming and hand-wringing. They're going to be blaming women. They're going to be blaming diversity. They're going to be blaming, at some point, they're going to blame aliens. I think at the end of the day, I think we're even going to talk about, they're going to be blaming everybody. I'm seeing them talking about budgets being cut. And that's one of the reasons there wasn't, somebody up on that particular roof. I see them talking about just shocking things. We're all like watching this going, how could this possibly have happened? Give me your take on that. What conspiracy theory, what do you think is going to happen with that? Or is this, I don't know.
Well, first of all, I'm going to say Occam's razor. The simplest solution is probably the truth. Like so many of our domestic terrorism experiences, a misled white male perpetrated this crime. I'm not thinking there's multiple shooters. I'm not getting that at all. I'm actually getting that this is almost a fated experience, and I'll tell you why. I read and look at many different websites and follow different astrologers. And Jamie Partridge from astrologyking.com in 2015 predicted that Donald Trump would most likely be a victim of an assassination attempt, being shot in the head or neck. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is because remember how we were talking Friday about the star, the fixed star Algol. Algol is in the head of Medusa. And for those of you who don't know the story, Perseus, the hero, killed Medusa, and her head had all these snakes that when she looked at you, she could turn you to stone. And Algol is in the head of Medusa and is considered to be a very malefic, detrimental influence that it causes. It's kind of demonic. Some people call it demonic. Now, I talked about it Friday from a different point of view, that rather than necessarily being demonic, it is transforming. It's showing the demon part of us dies so the angel part can be reborn. And in the myth, there's like 500 versions of this myth of Medusa and Perseus and Andromeda and Pegasus. And all those are lined up together in the sky. All those constellations are in the sky. But in the end, I believe that Algol represents this point of transformation from our dark side to our light side. And Donald Trump's got Algol on his midheaven at 26 degrees Taurus. So that is a malefic, that's bad news for him. And that is where the Mars-Uranus conjunction is happening right now.
Wow, well, he's got some help though, divine help, because man, a half an inch, and wow, and it's so sad. I mean, obviously, it was very sad. There was some loss of life there, very sad. To say this could have gone so much worse is just a colossal understatement. I mean, I know everybody's blaming Secret Service, but they did manage to, and I love the word, neutralize the target awfully quickly. Very shocking, very, very shocking.
Yes.
So, I mean, obviously, July 15th hasn't even happened. We've already lost 2 celebrities yesterday. For those of you who don't know, Richard Simmons, I loved him, and Shannon Doherty died. There's probably more by the time you see this, or maybe more. But
I think Dr. Ruth Ginsburg.
Oh, she died?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She passed away too. She was 96, I think. Yeah, a number of people are exiting right now.
Interesting. Is that typical of July 15th, of that kind of transit, or is that just sort of part of?
No, I don't think so. I think one of the things that we folks in the woo-woo world like to say is that sometimes people are leaving because they feel they can be more help from the other side. So maybe there's something to that. Maybe we're entering a next wave, a new phase, this whole take apart that's happening right now with like July 15. Well, all of this energy has been leading up to it. It's been building, right? It's not like it just happens on the 15th, but the 15th is the peak. So I think one of the reasons that it happened yesterday, the 13th, instead of the 15th, this big wake up call, is because of all these things lining up. And Thomas Crooks also has Algol figuring significantly in his chart. So he has a Mars-Uranus conjunction. So it's interesting. These two people had karmic energy coming in on this earth plane to potentially meet and have this happen. So
wow,
it's insane. It's really insane when you look at it from that way. So when you talk about conspiracy theories, I want to talk about stars, because I think that the conspiracy theories and the finger pointing and the blaminess, that's all ways that people are going to try to get attention. And attention, like we said before, is like your number one asset that everybody wants, right? And I think that they are going to also be just muddying the waters. What this does do is take everything off that news cycle we were talking about, right? So now everybody's focus is shifted. I think we are going to see a lot of shakeup in how everything is handled, even who's in charge of things at these various security levels, or even their plans for their campaigns, where they show up and how they show up going forward. It's hugely impactful to the campaign process right now, I think.
Yeah, it is very interesting. I did intuitively see them making a lot of changes. For those of you who are putting money on, just like with the last video when I said I wouldn't put money on Biden pulling out right now, I wouldn't necessarily put my money on the Republicans necessarily just winning. I know people are like, he's going to win because of this. I wouldn't put money on that either. 4 months is a long time. There's a lot of chaos still yet to happen. We're going to get some ideas of the motivations. I don't love hearing this guy's name, Thomas Matthew Crooks, because my brother's name is Matthew Thomas. And I texted him this morning and I said, you better check your YouTube channel. And he's like, nobody's going to get that wrong. And I said, oh, no. People are going to get that wrong. But people are really not that, professional reporter can get that wrong. There's going to be a lot of amateurs. And always interestingly enough, you do see some of the most interesting stuff come out of amateurs because they're looking at it from a different perspective. But it is sad. I will say I have intuitively asked the guides if we're going to be seeing more violence towards Democrats or openly Democratic candidates or people. And they said yes and no, that there might be a little bit of it, but it wouldn't be widespread. And that's what I was seeing. So that's what most people I would say are very rational. Most people are very kind and very loving. But you do get some people that are, on the edge of mentally ill who are not responding to this well and who are highly triggered. I'm highly triggered and I consider myself pretty mentally healthy. So I understand. So any final words, anything you want people to take away from this?
This is an excellent reminder to do what each of us on our own knows will help us all overall. And that is vote. Make sure you're registered to vote, and vote with where you put your consciousness, where you put your attention. I think that going forward, this is like clearing, like blowing up some big rocks that have been in the way, some things that haven't been spoken into as far as how we treat each other in this political process, how people who are on different sides of this great divide, how they treat each other. And I think this could be an opportunity to take the higher road, to jump the timelines over to a more peaceful path where we actually talk about the problems and not the candidates. So really think on an overview, if we could keep that vision out there, and if you hear people who want to just bend your ear and fill you up with their parroting of other people's conspiracy theories and things like that, really don't necessarily eat that food. You might get indigestion and you might be wasting your energy. I don't think there's a big conspiracy. I think this guy was not well. I think that I don't know what happens if I say this, but I think the gun laws just need to be looked at for people who are not mentally there, and be thoughtful for yourself about that. Don't stick yourself in front of somebody because you're mad because you should have got that parking spot. Yeah, it's bad timing for that kind of a choice. I think we're all going to be okay, Jill. I really do.
I think so too. I do. I think so too. I think you're right. I apologize if my douche and turd sandwich joke came off badly for those who I just realized. I watched that episode of South Park recently and I thought it was hilarious. And it was basically, the joke was basically that no matter what the election is or what it's for, it always comes down to those two options. And probably in poor taste on this one, but
yeah, go ahead.
Was that okay? I agree with Mara.
I'm really candid. I really couldn't believe that you said that. Not because I thought it was bad, but because that's from my generation. I consider it that's old for my generation. And I know you're a couple decades younger than I am, I think. So I'm just like, oh, they still say that. So no, it's not bad at all. I thought it was funny. I also wanted to say, I think if this is a wake up call. Get educated. Get educated. There's so many things that are being thrown at us that are twisting how we perceive things. Let's get educated. Let's get a little more knowledgeable about what they're really talking about and what these people who are in our government, what they do. And that could be locally as well as nationally. You know?
That is very, very good advice. Okay, everyone. So we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. I appreciate the like and subscribe. And just know that we both came back on to talk about this because we love you and we want everyone to feel comfortable and peaceful, and everything's going to be okay. Right, Mara?
It's going to be okay. Honestly, we know how to take care of ourselves and each other. And I think we can do that. I think we can do that.
That's true. And we as Americans do that very well, watching a disaster video and see strangers helping each other. And it's beautiful. And on that note, I do want to say thank you. A big shout out to CAL FIRE. I've been seeing your trucks everywhere in Ashland and Medford, Oregon. You have saved our bacon again. Hopefully, Oregon does not have to send a bunch of firefighters to California anytime soon to save your bacon, but I suspect that they may. So we'll be returning the favor soon. I hope that's not what it comes to, but I think it might happen. And I could even be next week. I do see big fires coming. So on that note,
they're here.
Yeah. On that note,
they're already here.
Thanks, everybody. We appreciate it. Have a good week. You take care. Take care and be safe.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.